Apart from obviously becoming older and getting a few new kind of wrinkles and just enjoying aging, how has life kind of changed over the years, especially with working with the plants? Now, when I used to come back to England, I'd always get a little bit depressed, thinking like maybe I failed, maybe I'm not doing the right thing. Because leaving the jungle, it can be quite emotional. You know, you go from being in ceremonies every single week, after ceremony, sitting outside of the Malacca, looking at the stars. It's so beautiful, clear skies with no light pollution. But as I get older, I look at things of just being more like a computer game and different levels. So coming back to England is just about, you know, integrating your experiences, integrating with reality, and just enjoying yourself and enjoying the flow of life. Because life is just like that. It's about getting in that flow of yourself and finding how you can regulate yourself, finding what can you bring to other people's life and also what can they bring to your life. Because walking any path, and yes, the camera might be a bit shaky. I need to invest in a tripod and I have just trained arms, so I do apologise for terrible. I should really pop it up against a tree, but there's not really branches where I can probably prop it up against. So this is what life is about. When you walk a path, a medicine path, it isn't about going to ceremony and coming back and thinking you know everything. Because I can tell you from experience, you don't know anything. The more you learn, the more you realise you just don't know about life. And every single person has their own little drops of wisdom to share with you. One thing someone said to me at work the other day, which was quite interesting. Now, this is a person who I actually met on the first day, and I told them a little bit about my life and what I do. And they said to me, they go, look, I've observed the way how you are with people, and you meet every single person where they're at. And I think there's the maturing in the medicine path is about meeting every single person where they are. Because I'm an alien when I start talking to people about my experiences in life. So I have to be very careful with the way how I articulate things. So with the lads at work, I shoot the shit with them. We have banter back and forth because that's the way how we are in society. We have to have banter. But in them little parts of banter, I'm able to seed inside of the person's character. And then when I am with that person, I then am able to go a little bit more deeper into the way how they're really feeling and try and share a little bit of advice. I do like to press their buttons sometimes and try to see where their triggers are. And then when I find them triggers, that gives me the opportunity to go a little bit more deeper and to see what's really going on with that person. So walking any path of life, it isn't about inflaming your ego, which can really happen when you do work with plants. I see it all the time. You know, like I work in the center, a center in Peru. So we get many interesting people come through that door. And everyone comes with their own understanding, the way how they think things should be. And then they get humbled a little bit. And normally, you know, they're able to gather themselves and pick themselves back up. Ceremony is about that. It's about taking a sledgehammer and smashing what you think reality really is and then putting them pieces back together. But you're putting them back together in a very beautiful way. You can rebuild them in a very strong way. But sometimes it takes a long time. Sometimes after ceremony, everything can fall to shit. And I've experienced this quite a few times. Whoop. This camera. I've experienced this quite a few times, coming back and just feeling like you just don't fit in anywhere. But now I use that as a superpower. I like the fact that maybe I don't fit in and I do like to spend a lot more time on my own, where before I would be like, I'm lonely, I spend too much time on my own. It's like, no, I use this time wisely. Use it to educate yourself and to really jump into subjects will you find interesting. And that's what life is about. Like, it is just a computer game and things are there for you to level up your character, which is you. And it can be physical exercise, going to the gym, putting the right food into your body and allowing the right things to come into your brain. because you do have to be careful. Now the world is oversaturated with so much crazy information. So, you've got to be careful. And it's like, use podcasts, but podcasts with subjects what you find interesting, but also throw a podcast on about something you know nothing about. The amount of people I speak to, and they don't have any of these kind of apps on their phone, and they only use it for like Instagram. And it's like, you have a whole universe in your phone. Like, use it to kind of educate yourself a little bit. And it helps you to navigate the world a little bit and understand your character and realize you're not as, we're all unique in our own way, but we're not above anybody else. We bring our own magic, and that's what life is about. I don't like the idea of saying people are NPCs, just because I think that's a bit egocentrical. It's like saying what you're interested in is more valuable than what somebody else is interested in. And I get some people can just be oblivious to certain things in life, but if you sit down and actually talk to that person, they still have their needs, their wants, their desires, their pain, their suffering, their joys, and that's the beauty, like meeting every single person where they're at. And I think integrating walking with the path, and the more we learn, the more diets we do, the more ceremonies we have, it just helps us to become a more rounded person. And if it doesn't, let's just zoom back a little bit and just self-analyze ourselves a little bit. And again, like, be humbled, taste humility and grow from it. Always grow. And that's what life is about. It's about finding that growth, because we have it inside of ourselves to always do better. And don't allow other people's stories to shape us. Same as like blaming our parents for this and for that, or loved ones. It's our reaction to things, of the way how we can progress and improve ourselves. And we have to always try to improve ourselves. Strive. If you're waking up in the morning and the first thing you're grabbing is coffee, and then you have a migraine and you're taking paracetamol, you only have yourself to blame. And it's not that you suffer from migraines, it's that you suffer from the fact of you don't hydrate yourself. Literally, take some water, take some like Himalayan salt, Celtic salt, sea salt, drink it, a good liter in the morning, and that's going to keep you hydrated, and it's also going to probably eliminate them migraines you get. So, self-regulation, and also just look at life as being a game, because that's what it is. Smile when you can. Laughter is the best thing you can give to yourself.